Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Arlington. Happy Easter to everyone. I'm Daniel Pineda.
I'm Richard Koris.
My name's Adele Quo.
And we have a great news program for tonight. We have our news stories, of course. We have Adele and
It's Easy Being Green.
And we can't forget our CBB stories, right?
Absolutely.
And what else do we have?
Well, we've got a theater review that we're going to present.
Yeah, and then we have our senior stories, and of course, our own
community bulletin board.
Right, and our own executive producer, Heff, has some commentary. So we have a great jam-packed news program for tonight. But can't forget our social media announcement. You can watch the Arlington Weekly News on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Arlington Weekly News. And the number one. Also facebook.com/Arlington Weekly News. Richard.
National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day. On Saturday, April 27, the Arlington County Police Department will give the public the opportunity to help prevent pill abuse by accepting unused, expired, and unwanted prescription drugs. The event is part of a joint effort between the Police Department, the Arlington County Sheriff's Office, and the Drug Enforcement Administration. The disposal service is free and anonymous with no questions asked. The program will be in effect from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the following locations: Fire Station Number 2, 4805 Wilson Boulevard; Fire Station Number 9, 1900 South Walter Reed Drive; Courthouse Parking Lot, 14th Street, North at North Courthouse Road. Daniel.
And on to our second news story for tonight. People who are unable to participate during the available hours on April the 27th have additional options for returning their unwanted prescription drugs. That's at Fire Station Number 2, located at 4805 Wilson Boulevard. Fire Station Number 3, 1750 South Hay Street. Fire Station Number 9, located at 1900 South Walter Reed Drive. Arlington County Police Headquarters, located at 2000 block of 14th Street North. These locations are available 24 hours a day, 375 days a year, again, with no questions asked. Accepted items include prescriptions, vitamins, prescription ointments, pet medications, prescription patches, and over-the-counter medications. Richard.
Amazon grants. Amazon has announced plans to give $10,000 grants to 4 Arlington schools. The grants are intended to fund the costs of setting up a robotics club and registering it with a non-profit organization that hosts robotics competition. This gesture came after Arlington gave Amazon $23 million in incentive. Curiously, Amazon also awarded grants to 13 schools in the District of Columbia, which did not give Amazon any incentive packages. Amazon also gave Alexandria 6 grants. Daniel.
Well, thank you, Richard. Well, the Arlington School Board has proposed a budget of nearly $670 million for fiscal year 2020. These constitute a $30 million increase over last year, which comes to 4.6%. The cost of the 2019 budget averaged out to be about $19,350 per pupil. Well, this year's proposed passed 4-0 with one abstention. The submitted proposed included a $6.7 million shortfall, which will have to be resolved. The final determination will be made in May. Richard.
And now it's time for
It's Easy Being Green.
You know.
Hey guys,
Hey.
Thanks for the warm welcome. My name is Adele Quo and welcome back to It's Easy Being Green. And here we are with Joe Tree Frog, our favorite mascot. because we are excited. Mark your calendars. There are 3 local native plant sales coming up soon. The first is Northern Alexandria's sale, which will be Saturday, April 27th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. 10 vendors from 3 states will promote native alternatives to invasive exotic garden plants, and they will also talk about the use of watershed-friendly gardening practices. For more details, just look them up at Northern Alexandria Native Plant Sale.weebly.com. Second of all, the Long Branch Nature Center sale is Saturday, May 4th from 1 to 4 p.m. You can pre-order your favorite native plants by 4 p.m. on April 24th so you don't miss out. This sale promises a great selection of native plants accustomed to our local climate and wildlife, so these will be available to purchase. For more details, you can just look them up at parks.arlingtonva.us/native-plant-sale. And thirdly, the Earth Sangha plant sale is Sunday, May 5th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at their Wild Plant Nursery, located off of 6100 Cloud Drive in Franconia Park, Springfield, Virginia. They are the region's most comprehensive effort to propagate our local native plants directly from local forests and meadows under an agreement with the Fairfax County Park Authority. They also restore our native plant communities and help control invasive plants. So for more details there, you can go to earthsangha.org. Now, if you still own any of the Reston 8 banned invasives, you are really late to the Native Plants Matter movement. But it's never too late to join. Again, Joe Tree Frog wants to review why native plants matter. Native plants are those that occur naturally in a region in which they evolved in concert with our local climate, our local soil conditions, our fauna, and other members of the plant community. There are 6 excellent reasons to plant more Virginia native plants. So first, no more fertilizers, no more pesticides. While our manicured lawns are notorious for requiring high inputs of artificial fertilizers and synthetic chemical pesticides, they all just run off into our streams and our rivers and the bay, harming our aquatic life. So also, native plants use less water, which will help prevent erosion, and this will significantly reduce water runoff and therefore flooding. And you can enjoy cleaner air. Native plants will remove the carbon dioxide from the air. On the other hand, if you just have extensive lawns, the mowing consumes gas, emits air pollution, and burns fossil fuels that all contribute to global warming. Native plants provide food and shelter for wildlife, which attract a variety of birds, butterflies, and other wildlife by providing diverse habitats and food sources, where closely mowed lawns are of little use to most of our wildlife. Native plants also promote biodiversity and stewardship of our natural heritage. Native plants invite the birds and butterflies back home with the diversity of plants, whereas our manicured lawns and our gardens that are filled with alien plants, they just provide very few benefits to our native wildlife. And really, the most important one is native plants are beautiful, and they can increase our value of our homes and property. So remember, enjoy these native plant sales coming up and put some more native plants in your garden.
And right, there's a lot of opportunity right over there.
Absolutely.
Just to make sure they're all good to go, right?
That's right. Plant more native plants.
Well, thank you so much, Adele.
Sure.
Richard?
And now it's time for our community bulletin board. The first activity listed on the community bulletin board is called Birding Virginia's Northern Neck. Don't worry, I said birding, not breaking. It's all about observing the early migrant songbirds and warblers, and it's gonna be quite an excursion. Participants will travel to Westmoreland County with stops at the Westmoreland State Park and George Washington's birthplace. Be sure to dress for the weather and bring along a bag lunch, a drink, and snacks for the day. Binoculars are also a really good idea for bird watching. There will be a fair amount of walking over uneven terrain and gentle slopes, so this trip is recommended for adults. Attendees can meet the travel vans on Tuesday, April 23rd at 7:30 a.m., and the trip will last until 5 p.m. Come to the Barcroft Sports and Fitness Center parking lot at 4200 South 4 Mile Run Drive. Registration is required, so call 703-228-4747. Daniel.
And Richard, here's a really cool event for families with kids aged 3 and up. It's by Families Unplugged, and it's all about creating koi windsocks. These colorful Japanese kites can actually fly, and their distinctive designs will steer youthful imaginations. The cost is $8 per person for Arlington residents, and children must register with adults. That's coming up on Saturday, April the 27th from 10 a.m. till noon at Walter Reed Community and Senior Center and Park, located at 2909 16th Street South. To register, give them a call at 703-228-4773.
Now, there's also an unusual library event. It's called the Edible Book Contest. Their motto is, if you can read it, you can bake it. The idea is to create an edible representation of any book title. It can look like a book, refer to a character, or be a pun on a title. It can be as fancy as a decorated cake or as simple as a bowl of grapes, which they suggested for Grapes of Wrath. We think you could even go simpler by just doing A Raisin in the Sun, but that might not be a winner, since it was a play and not an actual book. Competition categories include Best in Show, Best Entry by an Individual, Children under 12, Teens 13 to 18, Adult, Best Entry by a Family, Best Entry by a Group, and Viewer's Choice. Bring your entries on Saturday, April 27 from 10 a.m. to 12 noon at Cherrydale Branch Library, 2190 North Military Road. For information, call 703-228-6330. Daniel.
And Richard, yes, spring is really here, and here's a chance to really enjoy it. It's called Let's Go Camping, and it's an actual overnight event right here in Arlington for families with kids aged 5 and up. For a registration fee of $15 per person, families can set up a tent, do a little exploring, and then bring a picnic dinner for songs, stories, and of course, s'mores around a campfire. The next morning, staff will provide breakfast before breaking camp. And if you don't have your own tent, well, you can certainly borrow a family-sized version for an additional $25, payable in cash on site. The event goes from Saturday, April the 27th at 4:30 p.m. to Sunday, April the 28th at 9:30 a.m. Although the actual event will take place at the Gulf Branch Nature Center, you'll actually meet them at Bluemont Park. That's located at 601 North Manchester Street. And of course, to register, give them a call. That's at 703-228-3403. Richard.
And now we have a roll-in by Miriam Gennari on comedy.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of the Sustainable Scoop. Who said you couldn't have fun talking about the environment and conservation? The Center for Environmental Filmmaking at American University and the Nature Conservancy announced the winners of this year's Eco-Comedy Video Competition on March 19th. There are 4 categories they awarded: K through 8, high school, college and university, and those who were non-students. Yes, they knew such a vast, unwielding topic could have many rolling their eyes, so they challenged participants to produce short, less than 3 minutes, humorous videos that will be seen on YouTube and engage audiences in the concept of climate change. The contest was open to anyone worldwide who had a flair for video production. I was moved to tears of laughter by more than one of the films. My favorite included a little boy who made a video called Tire Swing, Gabriel Galquinto. Also, I loved Office Fish by Benjamin Voorheem, which should be turned into a weekly television show. And of course, you can't miss Art of Change, where directors Maria Alvarez and Alyssa Moraes show a clever depiction of life where Photoshop apps are created to edit gas masks off your selfies. Each winner in each category received a $500 prize, plus recognition at the DC Environmental Film Festival. You can see now you can get a laugh and even talk about climate change. And now for a joke. A cup goes into a bar and orders a mixed drink. The bartender says, "We don't serve your kind in here." The cup says, "Really? How about a soda? Can I get a soda?" The bartender says again, "We don't serve your kind in here. Now get out of here or I'll call the cops." The cup says, "How about a cup of water? Just a cup of water." The bartender says, "That's it." He picks up the phone and he calls the police. The officer arrives and says, "What seems to be the problem?" The bartender says, "I told this cup 3 times. We don't serve his kind in here. He won't leave." The cop says, "Of course, he'll never go away. He's styrofoam." Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I know I like telling it to you. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hold the foam. That's the Sustainable Scoop. I'm Miriam Gennari. Back to the news desk.
Very
Welcome
funny.
back to the broadcast room. Arlington volunteer Carl Gold will be bringing back a time-honored memory game called Name That Tune. Some people might think it would be convenient to simply name all the tunes Ralph and get it over with, but that's not how the game is played. Instead, Mr. Gold will play a few notes from several top 40 songs from the 1960s and 1970s, and participants will be asked to identify them by title. Beethoven is out of luck this time, unless you count the Beatles' 1963 version of Roll Over Beethoven. Anyway, light refreshments will also be served. That's coming up on Tuesday, April 23, from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. at the Walter Reed Community and Senior Center and Park, 2909 16th Street South. Daniel.
I like it how we're continuing with the jokes there. Well, Richard, are you tired of paying big money for cable, phone, and of course the internet access? Well, Nick England, the tech master, can help you. He'll be providing an overview and question and answer session on ways to combine these resources and reduce the payments you make for those services. That all takes place on Wednesday, April the 24th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. That's at the Arlington Mill Community and Senior Center, located at 909 South Dinwiddie Street. For more information, call 703-228-7369. Richard.
It's time for Aurora Hills Senior Center's annual Trash and Treasure Sale. Find a treasure at this neighborhood rummage sale. Items include household goods, decorative items, small appliances, toys, jewelry, luggage, craft supplies, and more. This sale will take place on Saturday, April 27th from 9:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. at the Aurora Hills Community and Senior Center. That's located at 735 18th Street South. For information, call 703-228-5722. Daniel.
And on to our next senior stories for tonight. AARP Smart Driver course, is back. The course includes a review of the current rules of the road and defensive driving techniques, something that we all need here. Some auto insurance companies will certainly provide premium discount drivers who earn a certificate of completion. The two-day class will take place on Wednesday, April the 24th and Thursday, April the 25th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's at the Arlington Mill Community and Senior Center located at 909 South Dinwiddie Street. The cost is $20 or $15 for AARP members. To register, give them a call at 703-228-7369. Richard.
Calling all teens, seniors, and vegetables. The Walter Reed Senior Center's Garden Group has a new project this year. Virginia Cooperative Extension Master Gardeners will be providing guidance as seniors share their expertise and tend a garden together with teens. Volunteers are welcome. The first meeting will take place on Monday, April 29th at 1 p.m. at Walter Reed Community and Senior Center, located at 2909 16th Street South. To register, call 703-228-0955. Daniel.
Well, Richard, traffic, cars, and drivers have all changed in recent years. Or have they? Mike Perrell, formerly with the U.S. National Highway Safety Traffic Administration, will address this idea along with the myth of the unsafe older driver. He'll also tell drivers what they can do to stay safe. That's coming up on Friday, April the 26th at 10 a.m. at the Walter Reed Community and Senior Center located at 2909 16th Street South. To register, call 703-228-0955. And of course, we want to thank our own Judy Masobny for contributing on our senior stories tonight and certainly every night. And now we have a great, exciting next segment, our executive producer, Heff Munson, and his commentary.
Here's a handy date for future history buffs. It's right around January 24th, 2002. That just might go down as the date when Arlington County officially jumped the shark. The phrase "jumped the shark" refers to a point at which something took a decisive turn for the worse, and from which it never fully recovered. Traditional historians sometimes try to pinpoint the actual beginning of the fall of the Roman Empire. It's kind of like that. In this case, that date in January of 2002 was when the Arlington County Board formally adopted the notion that Arlington was to become a world-class community. They've been advertising themselves that way on their websites ever since. As so-called mission statements go, it might seem harmless enough, no more overblown than a lot of other corporate pronouncements, but this one bears closer examination. Let's consider some other truly world-class communities. Paris, France, with its rich artistic and cultural history. London, England, with its enduring literary legacy. Looking back through history, let's consider Rome, Italy, with its musical contributions in both instrumental and operatic works, as well as sculpture and painting. Athens, Greece, with its contributions to philosophical and political thought. Tokyo, Japan, a combination of centuries-old culture and modern motifs that have enjoyed popularity even across the ocean. Even that relative latecomer, New York City, has much to offer in the way of historical and cultural distinctions. Arlington's website boasts that it's a tourist attraction, but most visitors probably spend more of their time across the river sightseeing in Washington, D.C. than in Arlington. To be fair, Arlington does have several nice things going on. Opera Nova, with its cheerfully resized versions of popular operas. The Arlington Philharmonic, with indoor and outdoor concerts both big and small. The Luberon Amphitheater, with its varied summer concert offerings. The up-and-coming farmers markets, providing increasing exposure to a variety of entertainments in addition to produce. some very nice parks and trails, some interesting musical and theatrical productions, Arlington Independent Media, the TV and radio station that is the true voice of Arlington's community, and various other programs and events provided by the public library system and the Department of Parks and Recreation. These, among others, are all very good features for a nice little suburb to offer. And yet, when county budget time comes up, most of these features end up suffering reductions or arbitrarily assigned goals to become self-sufficient. Furthermore, Arlington's decision-makers seem to be intent on importing business and culture from other areas instead of encouraging the growth of the efforts of their own people. Arlington is one of the smallest counties in the United States, and yet those in charge keep handing over more and more of their scarcest resource, the land, to developers and outside businesses, jamming more and more people into finite natural resources. The argument that Arlington will grow vertically is nonsense. The water supply won't get any deeper, and the breathable air supply won't get any higher up beyond the exosphere. There even comes a point where expressions like smart growth begin to sound like smart obesity. I am reminded of the fable of the frog and the ox, in which the frog tried to puff himself up to the size of the ox, with an unhappy result. The moral to that fable was, do not attempt the impossible. Rather than vainly attempting to puff itself up into some overblown concept of a world-class community, Arlington should try for something more appropriate, attainable, and sustainable. Just being a nice, affordable place to live.
Well, thank you, Heff, our
Yay.
executive producer. Thank you so much. And really fast, because we don't have a lot of time, we want to thank our own Jordan Tucharski, our camera guy. Yay. He left. He's now in Philadelphia and soon will be in New York. We wish him the best of luck.
Or
Thank
Japan.
you.
Enjoy
Or
Japan.
Thank you, Jordan. And of course, I'm praying for my grandma in California. Thank you so much for watching the Arlington Weekly News. Have a great one, guys.
We love you all.